Please tell us how else does having to do our Christmas break, isn't it? That is? Nobody over here? Have you finished, how many here have finished their finals and are done? All I have to say about that is, Celiosa, or chains of slavery will no longer bind me. All right, friends, it is a pleasure to welcome you here to share in the initiation of 30 new members. Probably the most we've had ever since I've been here. I'm very proud of it. In the Provo High School, Troop 3711 of the International Thespian Society. Through hard work, sacrifice, and dedication, these candidates have earned the Thespians. It is a title of honor, signifying commitment to an art of oldest humanity. Commitment to theater is what the International Thespian Society is all about. The society was established in 1929 by a group of college and high school teachers in Fairmont, West Virginia. They named the organization for Thespian, the Greek who, according to legend, was the first actor. Their guiding principle was the dedication to excellence in secondary schools. In years since, the society has grown into an international organization of more than 1 million members. But its goals haven't changed. The Thespian Society still strives to make a place for good theater and to honor these students who do well. We join here today for a rite of renewal and celebration.
Thank you for being here this evening. Before we proceed, I would like to introduce to you parents and to the initiates who have already met these people, our Thespian officers who have worked hard to organize this evening. Tony Gunn, President. Vice President. Terry Wilson, Secretary. Jordan Nielsen, Historian. Activities Chairperson, Sarah Cook, Publicity Chairperson, and Suzanne Workman, Treasurer. The hat is not a fashion statement. We'll just have to wait and see what it's all about. Well, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what do we mean by this thing called theater that we claim to love so much, and why do we think it's so important? The playwright Robert Patrick answered these questions for a group of Thespians in this way. And these are his words. For over 20,000 years, man has... No, actually 20,000. 2,000 years. I like zeros. Man has had what he called impossible dreams. And those dreams might include space travel, time travel, telepathy, to live others' lives, to raise death, to create living creatures, to live forever, eternal youth, unity with his fellow man. Philosophers and spiritualists have used magic, alchemy, intellect, voodoo, and physics in quest of these goals. And some have been attained by science, some still evade us, some even science still calls impossible. Yet for all of those thousands of years, we have already possessed those treasures. Wherever there was an empty space, a poet, actors, and an audience in a theater. Space travel? The bare stage behind me can, with a few words and a pantomimist skill, become the surface of the moon or the center of... On this stage, we can instantly be in Arabia, Okinawa, Elsinore, Brigadoon, Oklahoma, River City, Iowa, Donegal County in Ireland, or even Times Square in New York. Time travel? On any evening or morning afternoon, turn to ancient Egypt, classical Greece, even in the span of one play, travel from Cairo to Paris to Istanbul to Washington, D.C., to Provo High School. Raise the dead? In any or all of these times or places, people live again. Sir Thomas More, Henry David Thoreau, Emily Dickinson, Mark Twain, Queen Elizabeth herself, plus a million casual strangers some playwright met and liked or despised or wondered about centuries ago. But we do not merely watch these people uncomprehending as tourists. At those moments when real living people would stand stammering or stuttering or trembling with illiterate rage, These fascinating people open their mouths and speak their thoughts aloud. Hamlet comes on, and in 10 words, speaks the tormenting choice that underlies ecstasies and agonies of every adolescent. King Lear screams the anger of old age, and Eliza Doolittle, happily awake in bed, peeps from under the covers and confides in us that she could have danced all night. But there was never a Hamlet, a Lear, or an Eliza Doolittle. And yet they have appeared alive and joyous in literally thousands of places. Here on this stage, maybe not this particular one, here on stages locally, before and after this time, on others, simultaneously on 100 stages around the world. These absolute hallucinations recur. We have seen the creation of life so often, we have forgotten it is a miracle. Telepathy. When we hear a play, we are reading the mind of a poet in whose mind Charlie Brown and the Curious Savage and Lost in Yonkers were born. Magic. Magic can't come anywhere near him. We do not travel to Shangri-La and Brooklyn, Amherst and Oz alone. We do not travel as unarmed aliens, breaking customs and catching unusual diseases. We travel in luxury with the greatest guides in the world. We are allowed, for 2 hours of a play, to share computer time in the mind of George Bernard Shaw, to see with the eyes of Edward Albee, to hear with the enchanted ear of Shakespeare, to play in the imagination of Oscar Wilde, to hurt with the lonely heart of Carson McCullers. And no matter how young we are or how old we grow, they and their creations are still there, always alive. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson on Baker Street, Shelley Bowles and Christopher Isherwood from Cabaret in Berlin, Dolly triumphantly overtaking the Harmonia Gardens in that hat, Hecuba and Andromache bewailing the civilization that topples around them, and poor Laura, lost in an imaginary world of glass animals and old photograph records. It's telepathic travel in the minds of geniuses through ancient and imaginary lives of forefathers and phantoms for all eternity. What are the scientists and the statesmen troubling themselves for? Aren't they sitting there in the darkness beside us all, as we side by side, rank on rank, people who might not even be willing to talk on it to one another outside the theater, laugh together and grasp together, and are not even ashamed to cry because we can hear that others in the dark around us are crying? Isn't it another kind of mind reading, a growing together of spirit that makes 2,000 people laugh simultaneously at the silliest slapstick joke? These incredible treasures are everywhere. Everywhere that there is an empty space, a poet, actors, and an audience. When they ask you, what is theater for, simply tell them, it does what every other field of human endeavor is struggling to do. Each of our initiates have worked hard in theater to earn membership in the International Thespian Society, but it takes more than talent to be a thespian. It also requires dedication to the goals of the society. That means sharing the love for theater. I affirm that the initiates here are qualified for membership. Tonight we light these 6 candles to represent the arts that contribute to the theater. The first is for music. Tony Gunn, Jed Wells, Michael Patterson, and Rob Holmes will now present White Christmas.
Well, all those who've seen us before, sorry, but all those who haven't seen it, your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
Writing of the great words that are spoken on this day. The third is for visual art. The fourth panel is for mind, expression through movement without sound. Amara Anderson and Sarah Clark will now present the pantomime, The Girl in the Marionette. Workman will now present a humorous monologue entitled Search for Signs of Intelligent Life in the Universe by Jane Martin. So here we are, standing at the corner of Walk, Don't Walk. You turn away from me, trying not to catch my eye, but you didn't turn close enough, did you? Look at me, you mammalian-brained lunkhead. I'm not just talking to myself, I'm talking to you, too. And to you, and you, and you, and you. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I'm crazy. You think I give a hoot? You people look at my shopping bag, call me crazy because I save all this stuff. What should we call the ones who buy it? It's my belief we all, at one time or another, secretly ask ourselves the question, am I crazy? In my case, the answer came back. A resounding yes. Now you're thinking, how does a person know if they're crazy or not? Well, sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you can go through life suspecting you are, but never really know it for sure. And sometimes you know for sure, because you got so many people telling you you're crazy that it's your way against everyone else's. In my case, the symptoms are subtle, but unmistakable to the same guy. For instance, here I am, standing at the corner of Walk, Don't Walk, waiting for these aliens from outer space to show up. Now I call that crazy, don't you? They're late, as usual. You think as much as they know about time travel, they could be on time once in a while. I told them to meet me on the corner of Walk, Don't Walk around lunchtime. Do they even know what lunch means? And round. Why did I say round? Why wasn't I more specific? This is so typical of what I do.
far apart we really are. See, our ideas about time and space are different from theirs. When we think of time, we tend to think of clock radios, coffee breaks, afternoon naps, leisure time, pastime activities, slow time, doing time, minute rides, instant tea, midlife crisis, that time of month, cocktail hour. And if I should suddenly miss in space, aha! I bet most of you thought it was thought. But when they think of time and space, they really think of time and space. They asked me once my thoughts on infinity, and I told them with all I had to think about, infinity was not on the list of things to think about. It could be time on an ego trip for all I know. They said to them, infinity was time released time. Frankly, infinity doesn't affect me one way or the other. To think too much about infinity, just go stark raving mad. But I don't ever want to sound negative about going crazy. I don't want to over-romanticize it either, but frankly, going crazy was the best thing ever happened to me. Oh, I don't say it to everybody. Some people couldn't cope. But for me, it came at a time when nothing else seemed to be working. I thought the kind of madness Socrates talked about. A divine release of the soul from the yoke of custom and convention. I refuse to be intimidated by reality anymore. After all, what is reality anyway? Nothing but a collective punch. In my view, it's absurdity dressed up in a three-piece business suit. Now, since I put reality on the back burner, my days... Oh, I've done some studies, and reality is the number one cause of stress among those in pessimists. Oh, I could take it in small doses, but after lifestyle, I found it too confining. It was just too needful. It needed me to be there for it all the time, and with all I had to do, well, I had to get something, though. Now, since I put reality on the back burner, my days are jam-packed and wonderful. Like Sundays, I go hang out around 7th Avenue. I love to miss those trips. I wait for some music-loving tourist to go up to someone and say, how do I get to Carnegie Hall? Then I run up and yell, practice! The expression on people's faces is priceless. I never could have done stuff like that when I was in my right mind. I'd be worried people would think I was crazy. When I think of the fun I missed, I try not to be bitter. You see, the human mind is kind of like a pinata. When it breaks open, there are lots of surprises inside. Once you get the pinata perspective, you'll see that losing your mind can be a peak experience.
Finally, we light the 6th candle for dance. We've had many kinds of dance evolve throughout the ages. Tonight we thought, why have something formal and classical when we can have our very own, very talented, and very darling Jeff and Gerald Reynolds to perform a talking number entitled Up on the Housetop by the Jackson 5. learning at Provo High School and in the world. Will all the initiates come forward as your name is read, get a candle from the table, and stand across the front of the stage?
All right. Jacob Anderson. Great. Tanya Frenchley. Isn't that? Sienna Brown. Spencer Carver. Paige Christensen. Sarah Clark. Annalisa Durden. James Bell. David Henson. John Hendricks. Kristen Kendall. Ryan Lindsay. Leah Lewis. Allison Lixie. Sarah Jane Lundquist. Alicia Mildenstein. Natalie Miller. Renee Namath. Antonio Palacios. Megan Peterson. Neil Porter. Jeff Reynolds. And Gerald Reynolds. Jill Russell. Donna Solta. Lyra Smith. Melissa Smith. Jennifer Euharius. Kirsten Walstead. And Shayna Jolly. All right, and if there are any other members who have not attended the candle or candle ceremony or taken the oath, you can go ahead and come on up and grab a candle. You haven't? Well, see, you haven't. If you haven't done the oath, you can. You don't get it. We have somebody who is the Thespian and they're initiated. If Jocelyn Smith can come up here, please. I appreciate it. All right. Repeat after me. I promise to I'm sorry, what? Don't repeat it.
All former members also need to stay
Oh.
as well.
Former members, current members. Take stand. And everybody, repeat after me. I promise to uphold
I
promise to uphold
the aims and ideals of the International Thespian Society.
the aims and ideals of the International Thespian Society.
I am a student of theater, and excellence is my ideal.
I am a student of theater, and excellence is my ideal.
I promise to perform my part as well as I can.
I promise to perform my part as well as I can.
To accept praise and criticism with grace.
To accept praise and criticism with grace.
To cooperate with my fellow thespians and work for the good of the truth.
To cooperate with my fellow thespians and work for the good of the truth.
And share my love of the theater.
And share my love of the theater.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the Society, and remember our motto, which comes from Alexander Pope's An Essay on Man, Epistle 4. Act well your part, there all the honor lies. Willie Nelson, our historian, has prepared a slideshow for you to enjoy, featuring our activities thus far in the school year, beginning with the Officers Leadership Retreat and including the Shakespeare competition, Guys and Dolls, and drama classes.
I'd like to say that I'm very proud to be president of this organization. We've got a really good club. Very, very proud of all of us. Feel free to mingle, and there's some eclairs in the back. Feel free to partake of them, and thanks all for coming out.
For those initiates who have your candles with you, you can keep your candle as a lovely souvenir and burn it for Christmas time. Those who paid their dues by the deadline, we were able to order a certificate for you, and it is on the table. If you paid your since the designated deadline, your certificates are on order. And the certificates stay with us until you are a senior, until you graduate. And then when you have all your honor stars and bars placed on it, then you can take it home to use it. So you can go look at them on the table. And please, all new members, please sign the club charter. I will put a pen on the table, which is just right straight back here. And please sign the club charter. Thank you.